If you start asking this one question, your networking conversations and the opportunities that come out of it will improve exponentially. If you are not asking this question, you are probably losing out on those opportunities to build deeper and more supportive relationships with the people that you are talking to. My name is Maryann Lombardi, and I help women get unstuck and find their next right fit job so they feel more aligned with their career life and they can go after those positions with the confidence that they need and have the impact that they're looking for. Today, we're going to break down the anatomy of a networking call so that you can improve your calls and build better relationships. And by the way, there are 4 sections to those calls, and we'll explain all about that. Next, I'm going to cover how to ask and why to ask the most important question, which is, how can I support you? And the most important question not to ask. So let's get started. Now, the anatomy of a networking call. If you are serious about finding that next right fit career move and getting that dream job, then you need to be serious about networking. All networking is building better relationships. You could hop on a call and wing it, but I don't want you to do that because your time and their time is valuable, so let's make the most of it, right? Like go into the conversation with intention and care. Your networking call has 4 main elements: the introduction or invitation, the conversation, the ask, and then the follow-up or follow-through. We're going to break each of them down. Now, number 1, the introduction or invitation. It's the warm or cold outreach that you do to connect with people, ask them for the call, and make your first or next impression. Warm outreach is the people you already know, and by extension, people who you're introduced to by people that you already know. Cold outreach is outreach to people that you don't know yet, right? Whenever possible, you want to be doing warm outreach, and we're going to talk more about that in another video. This outreach doesn't need to be complicated, right? The simpler, the better. For example, a brief, "Hey, Donna, I'm on a mission this year to do a better job of staying in touch. It's been a while, but I would love to catch up if you have time in the next 2 weeks. Are you up for a call?" Perfect, right? That's perfect. Very simple. You make it short, make it sweet. Avoid lengthy explanations or updates in your message. The goal is to get them on a call, to move the conversation from the digital to the analog, right? Ask one question, and in this case, that example above was, "Are you up for a call?" Which is very direct, only requires a quick yes, no from the other person, right? Again, make it easy for them to say yes. If they say yes, respond with, "That's great. Feel free to book directly via my calendar link," or you can send them some times if you'd rather. "I'm looking forward to catching up." That's it. And include that calendar link, right? If they say no or don't respond, that's okay. Try not to take it personally. You have no idea what's going on for them. Just be polite, thank them for letting you know, and move on to someone else, or follow up later just one more time, okay? Second is the conversation. That's everything in between the introduction and the ask. This is where you get to know each other. This is where you talk about what you reached out to them to discuss and ask any questions that you have, right? So being prepared is essential. It improves the quality of your conversation and the quality of your relationship. If you're connected with them on social media, check out their latest posts, see if any life events have happened that might help your conversation, or maybe you share some sort of interest that you discover by doing that. Look at the kind of work they do. Does it raise questions? Is it interesting? Is it surprising? Does it make perfect sense? Or is it a complete departure from when you both knew each other, right? Those are great places to engage in conversation. Asking good questions is one of the hallmarks of a memorable and impactful conversation. So be curious, come prepared, listen, share, and see where it leads, all right? The third is the ask, and it happens at the end of the conversation. You must ask 2 fundamental questions at the end of every conversation. The first, which is the most important question, is, how can I support you to reach your goals? That is the first most important one. They may not have anything specific they need help with at this time, or they may, but always ask how you can help them before asking for help for yourself, right? Now, warm outreach is the most valuable currency in networking. So when it is time for your ask for an introduction, right? That's always your ask. For example, if you were discussing a specific work-related topic, you could say, is there anyone you can think of I could talk to further the conversation about, like, insert topic, right? If they mention someone, respond with, wonderful, would you feel comfortable making an introduction, right? Great, there's your ask. Or you can ask, do you know of anyone I could speak to who recently went through a career change? Or I'd love to connect with anyone working in, insert whatever industry you're interested in moving into. Say, I'm interested in learning more about it to see if I might be a fit for whatever I do next. Do you see how that goes? Always follow the ask by asking if they would be comfortable making an introduction. Don't assume. Do not ask if there are any job offerings or if they are hiring on your networking call. Never ask that. It is not the time or place. Plus, you can find a lot of that information on your own time by Googling, right? You don't want to waste your call on something you could find on Google. If you know there is a job opportunity available, have a strong relationship with a person, and are transparent about wanting to hop on a call to ask specifically about that opening, you can ask if they think you might be a good fit for the gig or whether they'd be comfortable recommending you. This approach is only appropriate if the person knows you are reaching out to discuss the open job and that they have welcomed a conversation on that topic, right? It's not something to throw in, all right? The fourth is the follow-up or follow-through. It's everything that happens immediately after the conversation and the ask, right? Unfortunately, most people forget to or forego this step altogether, leaving this developing relationship kind of unnurtured and languishing. So during the follow-up, make sure you thank them for their time, right? Like, it's simple. If they introduce you to someone else, follow up, thank them for the intro. Let them know if you had a good call with that new person, right? Like, give them feedback, give them update. If they give you an advice, follow up and let them know if it was helpful. If it was shitty advice, don't do that. If you say you're going to respond in a couple days, do so, right? Like, it's just kind of this common sense, right? Maybe they sent you a link to an article and you read it. Follow up, say thank you, right? Not only does this follow-up remind them of you, but it makes them feel valued, right? Like that their support was helpful. And I can't impress upon you how impactful that is. Just doing this will make you stand out and be remembered well beyond your peers, okay? So to recap, how can I support you to reach your goals is the most important question you can ask in networking calls. Those calls have 4 sections: invite, convo, ask, and follow-up, okay? If you have any questions about this, feel free to reach out. Obviously, we got a lot of videos about networking and more to come, so we'll continue to talk about it, okay? If you have any questions, though, reach out, and I'll see you in the next video.